Welcome to Laying Fallow. I'm Savannah Von Bruening. Today's interview is a bit different because I'm interviewing my son, Grayson. I'm not gonna lie, this was a challenge. I guess it's hard to be completely transparent when you're speaking to your own mom. Grayson was the theater major at Savannah Arts Academy. He spent a year at home working before he finally started college 6 hours away at Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina. He graduated in May of 2024 with a degree in building sciences and construction management. But 2020 is the gift that keeps on giving. Unable to complete the required internships for graduation early in their college careers, he and his building sciences classmates at App State had to finish an internship this past summer before they received their actual diplomas. He is officially done with college as of this August, and yes, he is back home with me in Savannah interviewing for jobs. He plans to spend some time in Europe and move to a large city up north to enjoy life with the changing seasons. As you'll hear, Grayson has a knack for letting life roll off his back and is always focused on moving forward. So I start these interviews with your quote. This is your quote. "My senior year, a year full of ups as well as downs, and although it may be over, the one thing it taught me was to cherish the time you have with friends and family. In a million years, I never thought it would end early, but lo and behold, it did. Yes, I was disappointed, but slowly I learned that it is what it is, and there is no way to change it. From this understanding, I learned that time is such a precious element. Enjoy events while you have them and cherish them to the max. To my fellow seniors, don't let this hang on you for too long. High school is a great experience. We may not have ended it in the traditional way, but that makes for a great story the rest of your life. I will miss Savannah Arts Academy and everyone at the school, but most of all, I will miss the environment of the school. We are not your average high school. We were all different, but we had so much love and respect for one another, which led me to great memories and even greater friends. Until next time, SAA." So you mentioned cherishing people and events in your quote. Do you still feel the same way about cherishing people and events?
Yeah, I think I cherish a lot of things. More of the little things as I've grown up more. Like, I cherished the graduation I had from Appalachian State recently. I cherish the people in the past. I'm glad I got to experience part of my life with them. And although maybe I don't talk to them today, I still, I look back. I'm like, oh, that was a good time, even though we're not in contact now.
Talking about the people at App State?
Well, I just, in general, with my entire life. People from Savannah Arts, old high school friends. App State's, I'm sure that'll come to the course as, we keep on living our life. But, it was so recent. I still feel I had close affiliation with them. So, obviously, I cherish all my times up there and experiences.
What was it like to go to App State and not know a single soul?
It's crazy. I'm glad I did it, though. I'm glad I did it. For all those who are worrying, it's a crazy experience, You go up there, you don't know a single soul. You're like, oh, what the hell am I going to do? But slowly but surely, you start to meet new people. From the second I stepped in there and left, it was scary. But my roommate kind of introduced me to the people I was friends with. He's like, all right, let's go to the rooms. I'm going to introduce you. So I got to meet a lot of the people that I'm still friends with to this day. My roommate helped me out a lot in that aspect.
You stayed in the dorms, but you kind of had a special situation because App State had a transfer dorm.
Yeah, it also helped that everyone was kind of in the same situation as me. Because of COVID. Couldn't go to college the first year, or I didn't want to be trapped in a dorm room. So went the following year. And it was cool because everyone was in a similar situation. They had to transfer in. We kind of got ripped away from our freshman year experience, which sucks, but I think we made the best of it.
How do you think personal relationships of you and your peers were affected by COVID? And when I ask that, what I mean is, do you feel like people maybe held on too long because of COVID? Or did it force people to let go?
I think it depends on the situation. Because, I'm still pretty good friends with all my high school, like the guys I was close with in high school. So I guess you could say we're holding on there, but I don't look at it like that. I think we just kind of naturally linked together and did out. I feel like we were all given the opportunity to meet new people, have new friends, which we all did, but, we kind of always tracked back to each other.
Do you think that's because of COVID, or do you think...
I don't know. I think COVID definitely played a part in that. I think if we all just went our separate ways, it'd be a lot different. But, like I said, it depends on the group, because I know people from high school that they don't even talk to their main friends they used to be friends with. High school, they just kind of grew out of it and met new people in college.
Has the journey of the past 4 years been what you thought it would be, like during your senior year when you're thinking of, oh, what am I going to do the next 4 years? Or has it not been at all what you thought it would be?
Coming out of COVID, I didn't really think much of what it could be. Kind of sucked because couldn't really move on, go have the college experience that I originally wanted. But now it's all said and done, I'm happy with how it went. I think I pictured it, going freshman dorm, then living in an apartment the next 3 years, and that's kind of how it went, but obviously COVID ripped that away. Yeah, you know what, I'd say it I imagine going how it went. Like, I got to meet a ton of new people. I always wanted to do that. I got the experiences. I got to go to football, got to live in a dorm, got to, have a whole new friend group. So yeah, I'd say it kind of went how I expected, but obviously...
Rough start?
I couldn't ever picture everything that happened. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, I'd say it went kind of how I imagined.
So do you think the loss of the milestone moments as a high school senior, so prom and your soccer state playoffs and graduation, and then losing a true college freshman year, or launching experience in 2020, did it make you crave tradition more? Or are you more flexible about life's milestones and traditions? How did it make you feel about your App State graduation?
In regards to App State graduation, it definitely made me crave that experience more. Missing out on high school graduation did suck, but luckily we were able to put something together that was a little untraditional and honestly kind of made it more fun. But I did also want that traditional experience of, walking across the stage, shaking the principal or dean's hand, and having people cheer your name. So I'd say it made me crave milestone. What was the word you used?
Milestone moments.
A little more. Kind of the simple things. You just learn to cherish a little more once, you've had something ripped away from you pretty early in life. Because, we didn't get the last, 3-4 months of our... It was 1, 3, 4. It was about, 2 months of senior year away. So overall I'd say it made me crave it a little more. Just certain experiences.
So moving forward in life, traditions will be a little bit more important to you?
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely learn to cherish them and, kind of fully experience them more.
So when I was doing research for this, there's a lot of research about people that graduated college in 2020 because they graduated into a recession and couldn't find jobs. There's a ton of research about little kids because they didn't learn how to speak or how to interact because they had to wear masks or whatever, but there really wasn't anything about you guys. What there was, though, is they talked a lot about trauma and the trauma you guys experienced with the losses you had. Would you say, or would you agree that trauma is the correct word, or no?
No. I think trauma is a little more serious. Obviously people experience trauma from, COVID with loss of loved ones and stuff. I think losing the end of our high school experience did suck. I don't think it was the end of the world because now looking back on it 4 or 5 years later, I got to, do a lot of things I wanted to do. And like I said, while it did suck in the moment, I wouldn't say it was traumatic. I think it just made me grow up a little quicker and want to experience new things in a different way.
Were you glad that you chose to defer for a year and stay home? Talk to me a little bit about that year. How did you grow that year?
It was a boring year, I can tell you that.
Tell me what you did first.
I matured a lot. What I did was, instead of going to Appalachian State right away, I deferred until the spring, and then eventually that fell through, so I just deferred until the next year. But during that year, I went to community college, and I tried to take some courses, and I took, I want to say 5, I think, 4 or 5, but I could have taken 10. I just wasn't taking it that serious, and then near the end of the spring, I was like, damn, kind of wasted some time. And I was working at a golf course, working with people who didn't have much going for them in life, and that kind of woke me up and made me realize I need to be a little more serious about my life, mature up, and go into a degree and move on with my life and try and get the most out of it instead of just working at a golf course or sitting at a community college. I wanted to go get out of town and experience new things, meet new people, and I think I successfully did that.
I'm going to switch gears now and ask you, what role does social media play in your life?
Not a huge one for me. Obviously, I'm on Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. As far as like my mental health, it doesn't really affect me that much, you know. I don't really post to Instagram that much. I barely use Snapchat. Those things, and I know people have problems with mental health there, trying to prove something that they aren't, you know, just be a little toxic. I don't really find it toxic like that. I just kind of look at it for entertainment or to see what, like, catch up on what people are doing. However, though, TikTok, it's a big one. You know, I've been on and off of it. I've gone off of it before for like 6 months, but always find a way back to it. I can waste a lot of time on TikTok. And I think that's where social media can be a downfall for me, as I'll get lazy and you know, just kind of scroll and rot away. And that's not very helpful for my situation.
A couple of your friends said they caught themselves being what they call iPad kids.
Yeah, you could say that. Just kind of sitting there scrolling.
I found that people are either on TikTok or completely off of it.
Right. Like, yeah, they don't have the app TikTok, but guess what they're doing? They're scrolling on Instagram Reels, you know, going through that, which is basically the same thing. So, yeah, while you may not have the app TikTok, you're probably looking at something else. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, they all have it. Even Snapchat does. So you probably do catch yourself looking at those things.
How hard is it to quit?
I mean, they cater it to you, so it's not the easiest thing to do. Like when I deleted it for 6 months, for the first like week, I just found myself like naturally going to tap at that position when there was no app there, which was woke me up a little bit. I was like, damn. But it's pretty hard, yeah. But once you do it and you kick it, it feels pretty good because, you know, you free up a lot of your dopamine. You're not just frying it by watching these TikToks or Reels or whatever. But yeah, I'd say it's a pretty hard thing to do, but if you do it, it benefits you a lot.
When you got off of it and you had so much free time, what did you do with that time?
I do other things like go to the gym or just go in the living room and socialize with my friends. But then also you substitute it with, you can go play a video game or go watch TV, which, you know, are similar but a lot different because it requires a different attention span / focus. It's not just like feeding what you want. So yeah, I think those are some of the things that I did, and I think it overall benefited me. But you still find yourself doing things that would be considered like not the best for you.
More of a waste of your time.
Yeah.
Well, the past 4 years have thrust social issues to the forefront for you guys. From Black Lives Matter to the Me Too movement, Roe versus Wade, and now the war on Hamas and anti-Semitism. Have all of these things made you more empathetic to the causes, or have they desensitized you because so much is coming at you?
You know, you gotta pick and choose your battles. With certain things, like, you know, I'm not experiencing it. I won't ever really understand it because I'm not in their shoes. There is a lot going on, so it kind of desensitizes you. You see a news line, breaking news, you see an article, you know, it's kind of the main topic for that day, and then the next day kind of everyone forgets about it. So part of me has kind of learned to be like, oh, if something's hot right now, yeah, I understand, I empathize, but just, you know, the next day it'll be something new. People have a tendency to, you know, kind of just move from one thing to the next. It'll be talked about for a week, and then if it's something more serious a little longer, then it kind of moves on, and, you know, people have a life to live, the world still rotates, so. Yeah, I'm definitely empathetic to certain things, but at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, you know, there's something new every day.
Has any of it made you go a little deeper or research, or do you move past it real quick?
You know, if I find it intriguing, I definitely research. I go into, like, I remember when the war in Gaza, like how Israel and Palestine stuff started happening. They declared war. I was intrigued by it, so I kind of did some research, watched videos for like an hour or two, and kind of educated myself on it.
Is that where you get your news? TikTok, YouTube?
No, I didn't get it from TikTok. I read articles online. If I think it's serious and I'm intrigued about it, you know, I'll go on Google it. Go on YouTube and watch like unbiased videos from like informational YouTubers, or it's more like animated. It's not really someone talking with their own opinion. Maybe like National Geographic is a good example. Or like infographic show is one of them. But yeah, when it comes to serious stuff, I try to stay off TikTok because I know it can be so biased. But when it is something less intriguing to me, I kind of get my information from TikTok, which I know is not the best, so that's why I don't really empathize with it as much.
There is a phenomenon called the quarter-century crisis, in which 25-year-olds are not where they thought they'd be and experience a period of disillusionment, uncertainty, and questioning. Tell me if you think this is a strong possibility for your class, or if you think they are more thoughtful because of what they experienced with COVID.
I think that will occur with everyone. Nowadays the expectation, the bar is set so high, it's kind of hard to reach or attain those goals. And, I think that has to do with like TikTok or social media. And you see these guys who, it's 1 out of every million people got lucky or didn't earn their money in an ethical way. And, they're flexing it on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And people see that and their eyes light up and they're like, oh man, I should be there. It looks that easy. But in reality, it's not that easy. You have to look at it a different way. And I know I'm getting a little off track here, but I'm trying to give some, context behind it. But yeah, I always think it'll be like that now, especially with social media. As far as I'm concerned and the way I look at it is, your 20s, that's where you learn. You have a lot of time. Well, I shouldn't say time, but you learn, It would be nice to be successful then, but you need to learn and, kind of grow yourself and progress yourself. And if you get lucky, and that's awesome. But yeah, I always, what was it called? The quarter-century?
The quarter-century crisis, kind of like a midlife crisis for 25-year-olds?
Yeah, I always think that'll be around from now on. Do I feel it? No, because I feel like I have a little more stable of the head, and I know I have a bright future ahead of me. And I know what I'm capable of. And I understand it takes time to grow a business or earn money. So I think I'm okay with where I'm at.
Tell me, what was your biggest loss in the last 4 years?
I'd say I haven't really had that much loss. I'd say my biggest loss was probably, my senior soccer season. We had a lot going for us that year. We kind of had the underdog mentality. We weren't like a private school where you could recruit young kids and get the best talent. We were just kind of public school kids who had a lot of grit and wanted to work hard and had a talented squad. And I think we could have been really good and gone far into state. And that kind of got ripped away from us. I'd say that was my biggest loss. Everything past that has kind of been a gain or positive, the college experiences and stuff and the people I've met. So yeah, I'd probably say that. I hate to reach back that far, but it really did suck. But
talk to me about heartbreak.
What about it?
Well, your class, or your generation, I should say, or whatever. One, you guys are not having, this is kind of a different tangent, but you guys are not having as much sex the way we had it in our generation. Part of that is social media. Part of that is the dating apps. And a lot of it was COVID too.
I'll start with heartbreak. I mean, you can experience it in multiple ways, depending on how you look at it, from losing your senior year to, getting broken up with. I wouldn't say I was heartbroken with losing my senior year. I just kind of looked at it as, well, this is something I love, but I knew I was eventually going to have to move on from it, because then you got to go to college and things. But in regards to with a significant other, it does suck. It's not fun. It takes time. I will say it does heal you in a weird way. It hurts. You kind of become a better person from it. You mature a little bit. You kind of get your shit together. Not in most cases. That doesn't always mean like getting fit, being like physically fit, going to the gym every day. It can mean mentally too. Just kind of getting your mind right, understanding what you want to do with your life, being a little more serious about the work you put in and what you put forward. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. People always think, oh, you'll be in the gym, this and that. That's not always true. It just depends person to person on how you look at it. And in regards to people not having enough sex in this day and age, I think a lot of it has to do with social media and what's put forward. You have to be careful in what you're doing with your life and the people you hang around with and what you're doing, because at any moment, you could be doing something stupid and someone's got a phone in your face, and that can do a lot of damage to you, to your mental health and just socially. So I think people are a little more weary and careful of what they do now, and I think that's one of the causes.
Do you think guys, and obviously not you, but like, or maybe you, I don't know, but do you think guys, like all your guy friends, because you have two very significant sets of friends in your life.
Yeah.
And so you have a wide circle to pull this from. But do you think that these guys are a little bit more hesitant because of all of the Me Too stuff, of girls like saying things that are true or not true? I mean, is there any kind of hesitation?
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to do something and the next day you wake up and you thought everything was fine, everything went well. And the next day someone's saying something and you're like, whoa, this could really fuck my life up.
I mean, is this like a conversation that you and your friends had? Like,
oh yeah, I mean, for sure, it's happened in our friend group before. Not the Savannah one, but the college one, where stuff has been said, and you kind of take a step back and you look at it and you're like, wow, that could really ruin someone's life. And nowadays things get loosely thrown around, so you have to be careful in that sense too. So yeah, that's definitely another cause behind it. I mean, there's also a lot of weird people out there, so it's not just a girl says this and that can fuck you up, but a girl also has to protect himself because of date rape, drugs, and things along those lines. So I think there's a lot of causes.
do you feel like it's more dangerous now, dating, like, or even partying, or?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak on it because I'm not fully like.
I guess I mean from your friends, like going, like, you talked about the date rape drug, or like people getting in situations.
As far as it goes for like male, I don't think it's any more dangerous. I think they have to be more cautious. But as far as it goes for females, I'll never experience it. I'm not in their shoes, but yeah, I think it is a little more dangerous. They have to be careful, look out for a lot more things than they did have to look out for in the past. So I think that's another contributor.
You think the girls are more aware of it, of the things they have to look out for?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the parents tell you all the time, hey, like, you need to be careful. I feel like back in the day it wasn't said as much, it was kind of just almost accepted. Not necessarily accepted, but if something did happen, you were kind of taught to be quiet. And now I think it is better that people are being a little more careful, and if something does happen, speaking out about it. There's also the case where speaking out about it falsely is wrong and can ruin someone's life.
What has been the greatest lesson of the past 4 years for you?
I guess take life seriously, You never know what's going to happen. I mean, I even talked about it, and the original quote I had talking after high school is, just cherishing certain things and memories, kind of fully living life, experiencing it for what you can. So yeah, I'd say that.
So that's your greatest lesson?
Yeah, just kind of living life to the fullest and fully cherishing the experiences that you're given. Because I didn't always do that. And through the past 4 years, I think that it's super important because you're only in your 20s once. I know it's kind of corny to say that, but it is true. And I think I kind of recognize that.
So gratitude.
Yeah, you could say that.
What do you think people misunderstand about 22-year-olds? And by people, I mean the general public, people my age.
I think most people, like, the older age understand that, they're young and they have a lot to live, but they recognize they're in their 20s once too. But with their knowledge and experience, they can be a little harsh and, kind of think that 22-year-olds now are like, oh, soft, like, when I was back in my day, I had to work hard, that's just an example. So I think they misunderstand that. But, we're like people too that are willing to work. And just because we have social media, this and that, there still are a good group of people that are willing to work. And you just have to find the right group. But I think that happens with every, generation. There are people who are willing to work and people who, are kind of lazy. So I think that's something that's misunderstood of us is, I know we're young and still learning, but we're teachable, and we can work hard if put in the right situation.
So you guys have hustle.
Yeah. Hustle.
Is there anything you wanted to share that we didn't talk about?
I'm glad I got to have this conversation. It's cool. It's cool to talk about everything, all the experiences. I know I didn't go into crazy detail, but from senior year of high school, not getting all that stuff, the graduation stuff, I'm happy with where I'm at now and the experiences that I had. It did really suck. I never felt like it was the end of the world, but I always kind of had a good idea of what I would experience, and I think COVID temporarily paused that. But with where I'm at now, I'm happy with all the lessons I've learned and all the experiences I've had, and then look forward to the next 4 years.
Just 4?
Well, until we do it 4 years from now.
Oh, all right.
You never know.
Okay, last question. What are you going to do with your one big life? So when you are in your 50s and you look back.
Reproduce. No, I'm just joking. No, I don't know. I think it's still up in the air. I definitely want to work, learn, get some experiences, but maybe open up my own business and work for myself and make some money and be able to go experience things and go to Europe and travel the world. I mean, we have one big world and a lot of people don't get to see all of it. When I look back on it when I'm 50, I definitely want to say, hey, I've been here, I've got to see this before, got to experience this, and, just kind of fully experiencing the world for what it is, trying new foods, seeing new cultures. Yeah, I want to be able to say that. I want to be able to do that with my one big life.
Does any of that come from having the opportunity to go to Italy on your own?
For sure. Yeah, I think that opened my eyes up a little bit, being able to travel. I've always wanted to go see new places and experience new things, but going to Italy definitely helped kind of woke me up and realize, like, oh, this is actually over here. It's not just through a picture. Like, it's different, seeing it in person.
Will you travel anytime soon, you think?
I hope to. I have a plane ticket.
You do have a plane ticket, don't you?
Yeah, I hope to. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with my one big life right now, like the current situation I'm in. But we'll see what happens. I would love to travel soon.
Okay. Well, thanks, Gray.
Thanks, Vic.
Thanks for listening to Laying Fallow. Be sure to listen to the rest of the episodes, and to learn more and see the portraits from both 2020 and 2024, head over to my website, www.donnavonbruening.com, or to my Instagram, @DonnaVonBruening.